Good morning. We are here with our second mini podcast on taking the lead. I am so thrilled to introduce Eric Yaverbaum. He's of Erico PR, but you know him from many other agencies. You've maybe seen him. I'd call him the voice of sanity on Fox News for around a decade. What businesses hasn't he been in? It's amazing. Eric, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
My pleasure. So,
and look, at my age, I even turned off the mute button right.
See, anyone can learn these.
There is hope.
Anyone can learn these things. So, and we get the strategy behind turning off the mute button, right? Not every generation does. So first question: you've led a number of communications, PR firms, promotional firms, and I'm wondering, what were the core leadership tenets that allowed you to lead your teams to such success?
You know, I've always believed that, I was born empathetic. I think that does matter, with the ability to look at life through the lens of the people that work for you. Honestly, if I'm not the dumbest one in the room, I'm in the wrong room. And I've hired accordingly. And I would say that for all the accolades that I've gotten in my career, for all the press, for the books, I mean, I can go on and on and on. It was never me. It was always all the people that were working with me, not for me, with me. And that's the way my organizations have always been. And look, I've grown up in this industry. I'm in my fourth decade. I've learned a lot. And I've got a lot more to learn. And I learn it from, the great people that work with me.
Great point. I think true leaders understand that their success comes from building the success of others.
Well, look, in our industry, maintaining a staff, keeping people enthusiastic. Look, I love what I do. It's not a hashtag. Unfortunately, it's a hashtag now. I love what I do. If you can find passion in what you're doing and surround yourself with people who are as passionate as you are about what we're able to accomplish as communicators, wow, does that make a big difference? It's not working for a living, actually. It's not about a paycheck. I mean, yes, my agency pays well, but we treat better, which matters. I don't think people, the biggest problem in the agency world is turnover. People don't quit companies, they quit bosses.
Absolutely. Based on everything you're saying is getting me thinking. I may throw out the planned questions, and I hope that's okay.
That's all right with me.
Yeah.
Life is all about how you react to plan B.
That's right. So let's talk a bit about passion, because there is some momentum in the leadership community and the coaching community that we really can't motivate others. They motivate themselves, but we can inspire them. And one of the things we can do to inspire them is to get passionate and be passionate. Tell me a bit your view on the connection between passion and inspiration.
Here's the thing about me, and anybody who's ever worked with me, is I love this for real. It's not just a headline on a press release. It's not just I can get all psyched to do an interview with anybody. I genuinely love this. What we do for a living, we have, with our skill set, information dissemination, which is very different and has changed dramatically over the course of 40 years. Surround sound, from digital to brick and mortar and everything in between. We have the ability to not just sell widgets, but influence opinion. Wow, how lucky are we to get to do that? And if we're able to evolve at the speed that, digital at speed, as the world is, if we're able to do that, and we have the ability to connect with other people and make them feel something, like I do, beats working for a living.
Yeah. And a very big responsibility, don't you think?
Oh, it's an enormous responsibility. I mean, we live in different times now.
Yeah.
Not just as consumers, not just politically, but the whole world. We're in a different era now. I'm recently, I don't know whether I should say I'm proud of this or not, but I'm banned from Twitter after spending a decade building my Twitter following. I had 500,000 followers. They banned me for election interference because I said vote. which is, we'll see if I get my Twitter account back one way or the other, but it's fascinating to me the way that information travels. Many years ago, when I spoke to, I would say my peers, we're not the elder statesmen of the industry, but we're not the kids anymore. In my own brain, I can't even get over that part. I used to be the kid in the room all the time.
Right.
I'm still not the elder statesman, but I'm no longer the kid. But I have 6 screens. Well, you can't see them back there. I have 6 screens on my wall. It's all different news channels. And I watched Captain Sully land his plane on the Hudson. And I saw all the people, not on any network. I saw it on my Twitter account. I was like, CNN got it 6 minutes later. It's like, okay, the news cycle, the match that lights the news cycle is the place that I've been banned, is Twitter. What does that say about the way information will be disseminated? Look at, all this talk about Facebook. I mean, you name it, Instagram, all of the social mediums and how they intersect with the way that we grew up. I used to walk out to my curb and read the New York Times. I still do. I still like that. Yeah. But it's different now. Information dissemination is very different. It happens very fast. And so is our industry. And the question was, do you want to change or not? I don't want to get older. I want to get younger. But the thing is that mathematically speaking, I will get older. Mm-hmm. The credence that I give to the youth that work for me is greater than my own. As I told you before we started, if I'm not the dumbest one in the room, I'm in the wrong room.
That's great. And it's funny you mentioned Captain Sully, because when we do leadership workshops, we talk about how his cool confidence and his belief in himself played a major role in landing safely on the Hudson and saving lives. And I know people who have heard the black box recording, and they say he's just cool as a cucumber because he knows that's the only way he can lead people into safety. I think he is a great leadership inspiration.
Absolutely. I mean, when I was younger, I was always perplexed by the notion of, I ran a PR agency, as you know, which I sold my first one. We were big. We had big, bad brands on them. I could never get in the CEO's office, ever. Mm-hmm. The best I could do is get to the VP of marketing, who would then communicate my own perspective to the CEO. So I made it my business to understand leadership. I wrote 2 books on it. I was a longtime member of YPO in New York. I was actually the chairman of YPO. I was on the international board. I wanted to understand leaders, like what made the good ones. Mm-hmm. And people do, they follow the leader. So if there's a fire around me, you won't know it. I'm exactly the same. I walk through that the same exact way because everybody follows your role, the way that you do things. And look, part of my role is I am a cheerleader. But it's not fake. It's genuine. And people will always see that.
Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you we're done with time. We didn't ask most of the questions. But we expected the unexpected, and I didn't expect it to be so much fun. I should have remembered how much fun you are. So let's do this again sometime. But thank you so much for joining us today. I'm inspired, and you've just helped me, rev up my passion a little bit for this.
As always, it's always a pleasure to intersect you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.